Hello, good evening. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over and Over Again. A slightly different night for you, a slightly different show, but this is going to be the Arsenal Women's Weekly coming up the other side of this. So Arsenal now free to Marnham again inside there looking for a second goal. Oh, she's got a second goal. That seals it. Free to Marnham again. So, good evening. I say it's a Saturday night. I know it's a little bit of an unusual night for us to be doing this show, but we, due to the fact Arsenal, thanks to Sky putting Arsenal on a Friday night, we couldn't do the show on a Friday night. And also because of the fact that it is now a Saturday, most of the panel have got other things that they've got to be doing on a Saturday night. So they can't join us live. But don't worry, because we will still be able to get their thoughts on all the various subjects that's been happening over the last few days. Now, of course, there's only one place we can start. Yes, not the news that we were all hoping for, of course, yesterday when it was announced that Leah Williamson is the latest Arsenal player to rupture her ACL, the third big player for Arsenal this season. Incredible what's happening. Really, really sad news, not only for Arsenal, but of course for the Lionesses as well. But mainly, of course, for Leah herself, because, looking forward to the World Cup, she's now going to miss the World Cup. She's going to miss most of next season as well, let's be honest. Really, really tough news. And another incident that wasn't a tackle. It wasn't a bad foul. It was just fell awkwardly. The pitch didn't help, did it, at Man United the other night. Very, very early in that game. And yeah, I mean, we spoke about this on the show, haven't we, on numerous occasions, the injuries that's been happening. Not just at Arsenal, it's affected us more than anybody else. You'd have to say it has, but yeah, it's becoming a real problem in the women's game, isn't it? And they do need to start looking at this now. Surely, the fact that the England captain has now going to be out for the best part of a year with this same injury now. Surely that's got to be the thing that wakes everybody up and says, you know what, we have got to look at this. We've got to do something about it because it can't carry on. We can't be losing our best players for long, long periods of time when there must be stuff that they can do to protect these girls a lot more, to protect them better. It's the same injuries at time after time. You can take a muscle injury here and there, because they happen. A hamstring, a calf, a groin, whatever it might be. They happen in sport, and you can accept them, and that's fine. And you don't really necessarily have to think too much about it. But when it comes to the same sort of injury, an ACL injury, which most of the ones that I've seen, certainly in the last couple of years or so, haven't been the result of tackles, just literally landing awkwardly. Is it the pitches? Is it the football boots? We're not sure. Is it just too much strain on the players? Lots of different reasons, no doubt. And I'm sure there's scientists out there that can really research this if they're not already. And we need answers, and we need it quickly. We need to do whatever we can to protect these players from these injuries. And yes, injuries are part of football. We're not saying we can stop all injuries. Of course we can't. But when it comes to an ACL injury, and when they're the same injuries happening time after time after time to so many top players throughout Europe, throughout the world, it really is time that we've got to say enough is enough now. We need to do something about it. And yeah, it's really, really tough for Leah. Of course, England captain are going to miss the World Cup. I mean, absolutely devastating. I'm sure she is. I don't know whether you saw the message that she put out the other day. Said she shed her tears and all that kind of stuff. Really, really sad time. And we all, as much as we're gutted that it's going to affect Arsenal for the rest of the season, it's going to affect the Lionesses in the World Cup and beyond. My overriding feeling is for Leah herself, because she's a real role model for women's football. She's been a fantastic player for Arsenal and for England as well. And it's such a shame that she's going to miss what's coming up to be a really exciting part of the year, isn't it? The Champions League semi-final, which we're going to talk about a bit later, and of course the World Cup as well. And for her to be missing that it's just devastating for her. And all we can do is wish her all the best and for a quicker recovery as is possible. And we look forward to seeing her back on the pitch again as soon as she can. Hopefully it's not going to be as long as we fear. But I'll be amazed if we see her again certainly not before Christmas, maybe even longer than that. It's another devastating news, isn't it? And on top of Beth Mead and Viviana Miedema, I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? Arsenal in the position that we've been in the league, we've missing so many key players. Kim Little's out for the season. Now Leah's out for the season, and we've got a Champions League semi-final coming up. I mean, devastating news for everybody at the club. But yeah, something needs to be done. We've said it enough times. It needs to be looked at. The fixture schedule doesn't help. The state of the pitches sometimes doesn't help. They're playing on these either non-league grounds or the smaller league, lower league grounds, and they're not looked after as well. The pitches. And sometimes the games are getting played on a Saturday, and then the girls are playing on a Sunday, and it's no wonder the pitches aren't in the best of state. And that's got to be looked at as well, hasn't it? Going forward, it has to be. The women's football's come such a long way, but there's still facilities and stuff that are still in the dark ages of women's football, really. And it needs to change. It needs to change quickly. And hopefully, if some good can come out of this injury to Leah, and there's not much good can come out of anything like this, but if anything can come out of it, let's hope that it is them really doing something about this to prevent this type of thing happening as regularly in the future. Of course, there's going to be injuries. As I said, there's going to be ACL injuries as well. Unfortunately, it happens to the men's players as well. They get them as well, but statistically, women's players are something like 6 times more likely to suffer ACL injuries. That's got to be looked at. It's got to be. But anyway, good luck, Leah, with your recovery and your operation, everything else. I say we're all behind you. Everyone connected with Arsenal behind you, and England as well, I'm sure. And we look forward to welcoming you back into the team. I'm sure you'll be at the games, cheering on the girls, as we would expect you to do. I'm sure. Terry's in the chat. He says, "Good evening, Richard. I hope we got over that rubbish last night." Well, it is what it is, isn't it? I wasn't surprised, if I'm honest. Terry said, "I feel so sorry for Leah, but it's getting out of control in the women's football. Something needs doing and fast before they kill the women's game before it's really got started." Yeah, I mean, it's the players, isn't it? We've got to protect the players more, and it's no good trying to pretend almost. And I do feel sometimes it's almost like, let's just pretend the women's players are as physically strong as the men's players. They can cope with the same amount of strain, the same amount of fixture scheduling, and they can't. And we have to accept that they can't. It's not wrong to accept that. It's going to protect them. It's going to make for a better game overall, isn't it? Because the more of your better players that are out, then the game diminishes, doesn't it? The quality of the product diminishes. And, for TV now getting involved, paying a lot of money into it and everything else, sponsors and stuff, fans coming into the ground now in bigger numbers than ever. We want to see the best players on the pitch, and we've got to do everything that we can to ensure that the best players are available as often as possible. All players are available as often as possible, not just the top players, everybody. And something needs to be done. You're absolutely right, but I'm not confident that the people running the game really understand enough or care enough. When it comes to money, that's more important, isn't it? So, yeah. Obviously, the Leah injury came very, very early in that Manchester United game, which was such an important game for Arsenal as well. And what it did was the game had started off quite lively for both teams. We'd had a couple of attacks. They had a couple of attacks. It was looking like being quite an open game. And then that injury happened to Leah. And I think everybody in the stadium, on the pitch, it sucked the life out of the game, didn't it? And the rest of that first half in particular was very, very flat. Neither team really looked that great. A lot of passes were going astray. The pace of the game was slow. And I think that injury affected everybody. And it was just a shame, wasn't it, that we couldn't have hung on until half-time at 0-0 because, I'm sure we would have had, well, we did, as we saw in the game, had a chance to regroup to half-time and come out firing on all cylinders a little bit. And it was just a shame that we had to concede that goal so late. It was ironic, wasn't it? It came in stoppage time that was added on for Leah's injury. That was what led to the goal. A good play from Nikita Paris. Arsenal's defending wasn't great, was it? I think Katrina Cole maybe isn't so switched on defensively in the team. Noel Moritz was slightly caught out as well. We lost the ball. They attacked down that, down our left-hand side. Noel Moritz obviously not a natural left-back. And Nikita did well. She got to the ball and pulled the ball back. And who finished it off? Of course, it had to be Alessia Russo, didn't it? She always seems to score against us. Nice, tidy finish. And that made the second half was always going to be a challenge, wasn't it? We were 1-0 down at half-time against Man City when we lost Caitlin Ford. It was going to be a big ask to expect us to repeat this against Manchester United, especially this time we was away from home. And in the second half, you've got to say you have to be proud of the way that we played. The effort that them girls put in was incredible. We were the better team in the second half. We took the game to Manchester United. And with a little bit more luck, we would have probably got what we deserved, which was a draw. It was Manu Zinsberg at the end, wasn't it, with that volley, almost salvaged the point. But we had one or two other opportunities. But yeah, to be honest with you, the game was totally overshadowed by Leah. And now hearing the news, obviously yesterday, how serious the injury was, which we feared at the time, it's overshadowed anyway. And does it really matter that we lost the game? Yes, but in the overall scheme of things, it's not the most important part of that game, is it? And, you know, the girls tried everything to get something out of the game, and they deserve a lot of credit for that. But ultimately, we lost the game, and you have to say that's probably the WSL title gone now. We've got too much ground to make up, I think, on Manchester United and now Chelsea, and we've just got to try and keep winning games and try to get that third place and get into the Champions League for next season. That's going to be so important, isn't it? So still lots to play for in the league, but the title's gone. I think we all have to hold our hands up and accept that. It's going to take a miracle, isn't it? And with the injuries that we've got, probably not. We're probably not even going to get enough points ourselves, let alone relying on other teams, the other two teams to drop points. So we've just got to focus on trying to get that third spot, get the Champions League qualified. You know, we've got a trophy on the board, and of course, coming up at the weekend, tomorrow, as we're going to talk about in a minute, we've got the Wolfsburg game, which is absolutely massive, isn't it? Terry says the heart these girls have shown this season has been amazing. So proud of you. Exactly, you're right. They have, yeah. So I don't think having just finished the season and then the Euros, then the league starting again is putting a girl's body under too much. Well, yeah, I mean, what you got to remember is the summer before, you had the Olympics. Most of the top players were playing in the Olympics. Then you had the WSL season. Then you had the Euros. Then you've had another WSL season. Then you've got a World Cup. It's just too much. It's too much. And you can see it's too much. And then next year, there's another Euros, isn't there? No. Is there? Yeah, there's another Euros, isn't there? No, that's the year after, 25, isn't it? Sorry. But no, it's too much. There's not been any breaks. And, you know, the football was shut down, wasn't it, for COVID? And what they did was they moved these tournaments to later on, the year after, rather than keeping that 2-year gap. And it's just made the pressure and the strain too much. You know, and some of these top players, Leah, Beth, Viv, these are the ones, haven't they, that haven't had a break. They haven't had a break because they haven't been allowed to have a break because they wanted to get all the tournaments in. What they should have done, and I know looking back on it now, we're glad that they didn't. They should have maybe cancelled last year's Euros, put the Euros to this year, moved the World Cup to 2 years' time and just rescheduled everything. It doesn't matter, does it? It's just one of those things that happened. Football was shut down for a year and a half. So they had to reorganise it better than what they've done. They've just thought about the money. We don't want to lose the money of the sponsorship of these tournaments, the TV, whatever it was. But they had to put the players' welfare first. And it's a lesson, hopefully, for the future, but I'm not convinced it will be. Anyway, it's not just, although I'm the only one live on the show tonight, we do have some video contributions from the other guys that are usually on here. And who else could we start with? But of course, Andreas.
Hello, everybody. This is me, Andreas. No show tonight, unfortunately. The reason is we are all hoping that our men's team can return to winning ways and can at least bring a little bit of hope and joy to us, what is really needed after this day and this terrible news we got today about Leah's injury. So, yeah, let's look what we would discuss in the show. It's a look back at the Man United match on Wednesday, and apart from the terrible injury, we lost 1-0. And if you remember, I didn't have the best feeling before the match. I said if we get away with a draw, then this would be okay. It's not that we had no chances in this match. We had our chances, at least in the second half, chances for an equalizer. But once again, it was a Leicester Russo, and once again in stoppage time, and it's terrible. The second match against United this season, and the second time we lost in stoppage time. The second time we lost a player due to an ACL. I'm still searching for words. United was over most of the time, I think, the better team, but as I said, we had our chances, and you will never find a team that is not mentally shocked after what happened after 10 or 15 minutes. So this had an influence on the match. This had an influence on the mental situation of our girls. They tried their best, but besides the mental thing, it was the team leader was out, and for another time Jonas had to change tactics and the game plan. It didn't work out as we wanted, and yeah, although there was still a chance in the last minute from Manu Zinsberger, what joke this would have been, that the goalkeeper scores the equalizer, but unfortunately, we don't have luck this season and we lost, and I think the title race is really over now. What we have to concentrate is the third place. This is still possible. We have the very difficult away match at Chelsea upcoming, but City has to play United, so third place is possible. Let's fight for the third place and let's look forward. The girls did their everything. We have a team, a real team, a very good team spirit. That's the positive thing, and let's face on the small positive aspects we have.
Yeah, I mean it's hard not to disagree with too much that Andreas has said there. You know, it's a tough one, isn't it? And yeah, it is going to be difficult to even get in that top three with some of the games that we've got, but I'm sure the girls are going to give everything. We've got Ahmed Phoenix in the chat. Good evening, everyone. Indeed, Herman says, how many games are left? The women have got 4 left in the league. Yeah, Herman says hello, Andreas. He can't hear, unfortunately, because it's a recording, but I will pass on your best wishes to him, I'm sure. We'll look forward to that. Yeah, there's five games left, isn't there, for the women in the league? Because we've got at home, we've got Leicester and Aston Villa, we've got Brighton away, we've got Chelsea away, and we've got Everton away. So yeah, plenty of games, but not enough to really challenge for the title now, I don't think. Anyway, Andreas also gave us his thoughts specifically on the Leah Williamson injury as well.
Hello again. One more word, I think, to the injury situation. We can't do a show or videos today after this terrible news about Leah's injury without speaking about this. And I think everybody who is a Gunners fan, who is a Gooner, here it is. Yeah, everybody who's a Gooner, who's holding it with our team is sad today. And of course, we knew after Wednesday night, we knew what will come, and that Leah won't be back on the pitch in the next month. But to have this certainty now made me sad, and I think we all are shocked and disappointed. And yeah, this means Leah is out not only for the rest of the season, she's out for the World Cup, she's out for the first half of next season. And if everything goes really well and perfect with her rehab, she'll be back maybe end of February, back in training, and maybe we can see her back on the pitch or in a WSL match in March, April next year, maybe a few matches in next season. But it's terrible for us, terrible for her. She's the captain of the Lionesses. I'm sure she was dreaming of the World Cup, leading the English team as a captain to the World Cup. And now this dream is over. She has to wait another 4 years to play a World Cup. In last World Cup, she played about 10 minutes or so, 2019. So it's terrible for her, and let's hope she gets the mental strength and from herself, from her family, from her friends, from the team to get over this and to get through the rehab, and then we'll see her next year. Yeah, it's the fourth key player that's out now for the rest of the season, Beth and Viv, Kim, now Leah. We're still missing Lina Hurtig, who had a surgery, and I don't think she will be back for the first leg. Let's hope she's back as an alternative from the bench for the second leg. We are missing Caitlin. I don't think she can start tomorrow. Hopefully she will come in as a sub. Fortunately, Steph Catley is back. We need every player now. We have the problem of missing experience, of missing a leader of the team. And for the Lionesses, it's also a terrible situation when you look at the lineup for the Euro final and which players are available now. The captain is out, the player of the tournament is out. We don't know about Millie Bright. I read right now that she might be back for 1 or 2 matches in this season end. So this would mean she can play the World Cup. We don't know about Fran Kirby. Don't think that she will make it to the World Cup. So it will be really tough for the Lionesses and for Serena Wiegman. And to be honest, it's a difficult situation, and the Lionesses are no longer a top favorite for the World Cup title. But we can't change it. We have to deal with it. And I just wanted to give my thoughts about this situation. Let's look forward. Let's look on Sunday and hope for a good result. And then I'll be back in London next weekend. Saturday I'll flying to London. And on Sunday, of course, I'm in the Emirates. No matter how the result this on Monday, Monday 1st May, I'll be at the Emirates. No matter how the result this Sunday will be, even if we get a heavy defeat, I'll be at the Emirates on 1st May, and I'll support our girls, because I always say support does not depend on success. I'm a Gooner, I will support my team, and let's hope for better times. Come on, you Gunners.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really argue with that, can you? And he's right, of course. I mean, I'll be there as well on the 1st of May for that semi-final against Wolfsburg. That is going to be a fantastic occasion. Let's hope that tomorrow's result goes well. Terry says that's about 7 long-term injuries just in one season. Yeah, it's incredible. It really is incredible. It doesn't help going into this big game. But yeah, I mean, Andreas is right about the World Cup, because it's every player's dream, isn't it? Leah didn't play too much in the last World Cup, did she? And now she would have been captain. And who knows, in 4 years' time, when the next World Cup comes around, she's going to be near enough 30 or 30 years old, isn't she? So will she still be playing? Will she still be captain? Will she still be at the level she is now? We're never going to know. This could have been her one big chance to win the World Cup, and it's gone. And you've got to feel desperately, desperately sorry for her. If one player deserved to be leading England in that World Cup, it was Leah. Without a doubt, what she's done for English women's football. And it's just such a shame. Terry says, how can you not love Andreas? What a nice guy. He's an absolute legend, Terry. He really is. And you're right. It's difficult not to love Andreas. He is a fantastic, great guy. And I'm looking forward to meeting up with him again at the Emirates next week. That's going to be great. We're looking forward to that. Whether we win, lose or draw, whether we get to the final of the Champions League or we get knocked out, it's going to be great to meet up with the guys again. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, isn't it? It's not just Andreas who sent us videos. No. We've also got Amar.
Yeah, hi there, guys. Hope you're well. Well, just give you my brief thoughts on the Manchester United game. We battled hard as usual, but ultimately it's a story in some of the big games. We just lacked a bit of quality in the final third, and they didn't really offer much of a threat going forward. Ultimately produced the one moment of quality, didn't they? And funnily enough, it had to be Nikita Paris setting up Russo, player who we targeted in January, and a player who was on our books last summer but never really made much of an impact. And Zinsberger made a good save, but we'd always try till the end, and he even pulled off a miraculous volley at the end to save us a point, which I think we would have deserved. But ultimately, I think we have to try and just focus on getting through this season and regroup in the summer now. And hopefully we'll get that Champions League spot. And there's no doubt in my mind that the girls will always give it their all till the end. And I said they give it that way and finish the season strongly. It's going to be a battle to the end with Manchester City, but I'm hoping they can do it. And that's my thoughts on the Manchester United game. Take care and see you soon.
Yeah, I mean, we know they're going to give it all. We know they will, because they always do. They always have done. Certainly this season in particular, everything that's gone against us, they're battling and fighting for every single thing. And I'm sure they will continue to do that for the rest of the season. So yeah, good to hear Amar's thoughts. William, I gotta say we did have Amar's video about Leah's injury, but I'm not quite sure where it is now. It seems to have disappeared. Let me see if I can find it for you, because he took the time to do it, and we should obviously get it on the show, shouldn't we? Let me see if I can find it. And we'll see if we can get that on. Oh no, that's the other one. I'll try and find that for you if I can. But anyway, we've also got Matt as well. So Matt is going to give us his thoughts on everything actually in one go, because that's Matt for you. He's brilliant.
Hi all, hope you're okay. I'm just going to go straight into this. It is the game against Manchester United, so post-match. Ended up being 1-0 Manchester United. I think a lot of us were just hoping that we could go to half-time, make it 0-0 and then go again. Unfortunately, the injury changed that, and now Leah Williamson has been officially confirmed that she's got an ACL. It is a huge bitter pill to swallow, because there's a lot of issues we've had this season with injuries, and we thought hopefully we'd gotten past that, but no, they just keep toddling up, and it's caused an issue. I'm hoping that Leah will be back soon, and hopefully her recovery goes well. She's not the only player in the boat at the moment with these injuries, so there's plenty of people to keep her motivated and keep her on track at this moment in time. I just wish her all the best with her recovery, and that's the most important thing right at the moment. On top of that, we've also got the game against Manchester United, just to bring that back. It just didn't happen for us in the end, and it was a real shame. I was hoping that we'd get something out of that, and we didn't. But props to the girls, they did their best. Just couldn't put it in the back of the net, and now the game against Wolfsburg has just come about 5 times harder to solve that problem of how do you stop Wolfsburg. And when you lose 2 key midfielders in a short amount of time, all of a sudden you're relying on other players to come in and do what they can do best. At this moment in time, I'm not very confident that we can do that, especially with this news. But the squad have turned around. Lotta has said it herself. They are wanting to come back stronger and harder and faster, make themselves be real nuisances for these sides, and hopefully we can just finish the game strong. I'm expecting us to lose against Wolfsburg at this moment in time. As long as we can keep it tight like we did against Bayern, then I'll be happy. That's all from me today. Bye.
So yeah, Matt gets it all in one video. Why take 3 videos when you can do it all in one? So well done, Matt. That was great. Good to hear Matt's voice. He's right again, of course. You know, it's going to be a tough game. We will look at a Wolfsburg game in a minute. Terry says, "Evening, Matt. Really nice guy, and has come on leaps and bounds. So proud of this guy." Yeah, no, he has. You're right. Fair enough. We were talking about that, me and Paula, a week or so ago. You know, how Matt's really come out of himself. You know, when he was first on the show, he was very shy and uncertain a little bit, and now, you know, he's full of it, isn't he? It's brilliant to see, and yeah, we're really proud of him as well. And yeah, I mean, I think we're lucky, aren't we? I think I've been lucky to get 3 guys, and Harry as well, who can't always make it onto the show, but it is, you know, part of the team as well. I've been really fortunate, haven't I, to get these guys that are fantastic, really, really nice guys. They love their football, women's football. It's been great to have them involved over the last couple of years, and hopefully we can keep them involved, because we do enjoy having them with us, and they are great. Terry says, as Matt Burgle, the Gooners house. He's got all his stuff there, on the wall, which is great. It looks good, doesn't it? Now, of course, tomorrow. Now, this is something special. Of course, last season, quarter-final it was against Wolfsburg. We were at home in the first leg last time, and, you know, we got that 1-1 draw. Lotta's goal there that you saw in the final moments of that game gave us that 1-1 draw, which was the least we deserved on the night. I thought we played brilliantly against Wolfsburg in that second half at home last year. Maybe could have won. We had a goal disallowed from Stina as well a bit earlier on. And, of course, the second leg was very difficult, wasn't it? And we were missing Leah Volti, and we got bullied out of it a little bit, didn't we? It was a tough night, and we crashed out. But I believe, even despite our injuries, we're in a much better frame of mind now. I think physically we can deal with Wolfsburg physicality. I think we've shown in the big games this season against the bigger physical teams, we've improved. And I think we can I think over the 2 legs, yes, obviously, if Leah was fit, I would be a lot more confident, I've got to be honest. And if Kim was fit, but I still think that we've got enough about this team to be able to find a way to win over 2 legs. And I think it helps us this time that the first leg's away, because it's, Wolfsburg are not going to be able to really take loads of risks. Because they don't really want to leave themselves open to an Arsenal counter-attack and we score a goal or 2. So they can't really open up too much. And I think when you're at home in the first leg, it's quite a tight game, isn't it? You don't generally get, especially when you're in a semi-final, you don't generally get lots and lots of goals. And I think what's going to happen in this particular game tomorrow is, I think Wolfsburg will, obviously they're at home, they'll be favourites with our injuries and stuff like that. But I think they'll be they're not going to overcommit players forward. I think they're going to play it sensible and they're going to try and nick a goal or 2 here and there. And I think that might help us. I think we will get chances on the counter-attack. And I think it's going to be a good test for us, a real test for us. But I'm confident that we are going to still have something to play for when we come back to the Emirates. Even if we lose the game tomorrow, I think it'll only be a narrow defeat. And I think it'll be all to play for. So I'm feeling reasonably confident. Herman says, I saw a horrible accident at the Miami Tennis Open. Andrescu tore her ankle. She screamed for me at that time. Did she? Oh, dear, that's terrible. Yeah. It seems that I can't send any messages, which might be true. Yeah, it might be because they're too long sometimes, Herman. Yeah, I think there's only so many characters. If you want to put a longer message in, maybe do it in 2 or 3 little messages and I'll just put them all up. So do it that way, maybe, if you want to. That's fine. But yeah, obviously looking into Wolfsburg, I say it's going to be a big test, and it's going to be a test of character for us as well, because we need to put that Leah injury behind us. It's difficult. She's one of our leaders on the pitch, a fantastic player, and we know how important and popular she is. But we need to focus now and do this for Leah, and do it for Bev, do it for Viv, do it for Kim, do it for all these players that are injured. We're still waiting for confirmation. It doesn't look as though Caitlin Fall's going to be fit for the first leg. She was not in training today, so I think we're all kind of expecting that she's not going to be fit to play. So that's obviously a blow. She was playing so well, wasn't she, before her injury against Manchester City. But we are feeling quite confident she may well be back for the second leg on next Monday. So that could be good news. But yeah, I don't think she'll be fit. So in terms of the team then, I think Manu Zinsberger will play in goal, although Sabrina's been brilliant. I do think that will be where we'll go with that. The back 4, I got a feeling Noel Moritz will play at right back. I think it will be Lotta and Rafaela, of course, at centre back. And I think Steph Catley will be at left back. I think she's proved that she's back fit again. I think she'll probably start this game. So we'll have our kind of usual back 4, if you like, because Lotta's done brilliantly. So that's fine. I'm happy with that defence and goalkeeper there. Midfield is a slight issue, isn't it? Without Kim and without Leah, what do we do there? That's going to be the test, isn't it? Obviously, Leah Vorti's going to sit. Who's going to be alongside her? Victoria Palova dropped in, didn't she, against Manchester United? I thought she did a good job there. That physical side of the game, it really suits her, doesn't it? And I think that she could be a good choice there to sit alongside Leah Vorti and kind of try and get stuck in and win some tackles, get the ball won, get in their faces and stuff like that. That could be a good choice for her. And then obviously Frida just ahead. But then what about the front 3? Katie McCabe, of course, is back. She could play down that left-hand side. Her left foot, she could take Caitlin's place down there. Obviously, Stina will be playing through the centre. And then it still leaves us, we've still got this issue on the right-hand side, haven't we? We've had an issue there since Beth got injured, and we've not really found the answer. Victoria's played well, actually, in that position, but she may well be needed further back in a more defensive role. So who plays on the right? That's got to be the question, isn't it? It's a tough one. I'm not really sure what I would do in that situation, really, with the players that we've got. Katarina Cole didn't do enough for me the other night to warrant her playing in such a big game. I don't think defensively she's good enough to give us the support that we need. I suppose Laura Wainwright is an option. She can certainly get forward well. She could put a good ball into the box. She could be an option on that right-hand side potentially, but again, it's a bit of a risk, isn't it? In a game like this, playing a player in a position that they're not used to playing. It's not their normal, natural position. So it's not easy. It's not going to be an easy choice, is it, for Jonas to make? But we don't have an abundance of options at the moment, do we, because of the injuries, and it's a real problem. So we need to go there. We need to defend well, and we need to try and be dangerous on a counter-attack. We need to do all we can to get them out of their rhythm. We need to give away little free kicks here and there. We need to break the play up, and then we need to make the most of our set pieces, because we've been good from set pieces, and we've got Rafaela who can win headers and score goals. Let's see what happens. But I think we can get an okay result. Actually, an okay result. Emerson's in the chat. He says 2 bits of news that you all did not know: that Caitlin Ford is out, and for Wolfsburg, Alex Pop is out of both semi-finals. As the Arsenal girls are in Germany. Alex Pop's out, you see. We knew Caitlin Ford was out for tomorrow. Hopefully she might be fit for the second game. But if Alex Pop's out, that is good news for Arsenal. I mean, we don't like players to be injured. We've just been saying about injuries. But, from a purely selfish Arsenal perspective, if Alex Pop can't play, that is a big advantage to us, because she's such a great player and so dangerous. So, obviously, we hope it's not a serious injury, and I'm sure that she'll be back soon. Terry says, yes, 100% agree. These Arsenal girls deserve something special this season, each and every one of them. They do, yeah. Herman says, how are the new players doing? Okay. I think Victoria Palova's doing really well, actually. I think she's been a really good player. I think Katarina Cole still's got a little bit to learn. I think she's still a little bit naive at times. Very, very skillful, great passer of the ball. But I think the defensive side of her game is where she needs to improve, and I'm sure she will. And of course, the goalkeeper Sabrina D'Angelo has been brilliant, hasn't she, when she's played? Absolutely fantastic. So overall, decided the new players in January have done well. They look good players, and of course, Gio's back as well. And she's an option actually on the right, isn't she? Gio maybe actually tomorrow. I've forgotten about her, but that just reminded me. Gio, of course, who came on, didn't she, the other night? Did okay. So she could be an option, Gio. So let's see maybe. Mate, oh no, she's not in the squad, is she, for the Champions League? Gio, she can't play, can she? Terry says a massive thanks to Jonas as well, getting these girls given 100% week in, week out and winning a cup. Yeah, he's done well, Jonas. Really, really good manager. He's very thoughtful, isn't he? He thinks things through, very clever tactically. Really impressed with what he's doing, Jonas. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Herman says, I noticed that Palova at Ajax played right and also scored a fair amount of goals. She did, yeah. And she would be a good option, but I just think that the physical side of her game is going to be really important, maybe in midfield without Leah and without Kim, to maybe drop in a bit deeper, because I thought she did that pretty well against Manchester United. I thought she did it well in the second half, so I would be tempted to do that. But yes, it does leave us a little bit of a shorter option on that right hand side. But then if Victoria's on the right, who goes in the centre midfield and does that defensive role? Again, we've got not many options, have we? Terry says, Richard, do you think Lotta Woodmore could actually get a chance in the World Cup? In my opinion, she deserves. No, you're right. I kind of, she deserves a chance. She's not going to get one. I think that if Serena really fancied her as a potential replacement for one of the bigger players, I think she would have been giving her more minutes on the pitch, or giving her some minutes on the pitch, because she's not giving her any minutes at all, has she? So no, I've got to be honest. I don't think she will play. She might be in the squad. But I don't expect her to get too many minutes on the pitch under Serena, unfortunately. I mean, I love Serena, what she's done for the Lionesses, but she doesn't seem to fancy Lotta for whatever reason. Lotta's got to prove herself maybe a bit more in training, in the training camps and stuff. We'll see. WSL Comp says there, Serena has other options unless she leaves her out for Steph Horton. No, Steph Horton's not coming back. Absolutely no chance. She's the past, unfortunately. And we need to look for the future. And yeah, I think that the two central defenders in the World Cup will be Millie Bright, assuming she's fit, and Alex Greenwood. I think that will be the two centre backs. And it seems like Esme Morgan's got ahead of Lotta in the running for a backup slot. I'm sure Lotte will be in the squad, but yeah, I don't think she'll play. But if she does well between now and the end of the season, imagine if she's in the Champions League winning team. It'd be difficult to leave her out of the World Cup, wouldn't it? So she can, if she can keep doing what she's doing, she'll have a big chance, won't she? Anyway, let's hear what Andreas thinks about Wolfsburg. Of course, he knows a lot about Wolfsburg. For those who are not maybe familiar with German women's football, Wolfsburg are Andreas's equivalent of our Chelsea. They're like the rivals of Bayern Munich, who's obviously Andreas's other team in Germany. So he kind of dislikes them as much as we dislike Chelsea. So it's a big game for Andreas. And obviously he knows Wolfsburg really well. So it's going to be interesting to hear his thoughts on the game.
So next subject, a very big match on Sunday, Champions League semi-finals, first leg away at Wolfsburg, against a very, very strong team, and we remember last season when we went out against Wolfsburg in the quarterfinals. This time it's semi-final, it's just one step closer to the final. Is it possible to reach the final? Is it possible to beat Wolfsburg in 2 legs? Yes, it's possible. And if we had our normal full squad, I wouldn't say it's possible. I would say we are the favorites. We are the better team. We have the better squad. But we are missing the 4 best players of our squad. And no other team in the world could compensate this. No other team wouldn't struggle. So we are struggling too. We have the mental problem that the last terrible injury is just 3 or 4 days ago. But we have to face the situation as it is, and I'm sure that Jonas and the girls will take up the situation and will try their utmost for the injured players, for the badge, for the club, for themselves. It's a big match, and you don't have it much. You don't have it very often that you play a Champions League semi-final. So this is a special situation for every player in the squad. Every player will go to 100% at least, and it will be the question: what tactics will Jonas choose to do? What game plan he has, and do we still have 11 players from the first squad that can walk and run without crutches? I hope so. We need a strong defense against Wolfsburg, because I saw them last week when they played the semi-finals of the German Cup at Bayern Munich, and they thrashed Bayern 5-0 in Munich. I saw the match. I was live at the stadium, and unbelievable. Svennis Jonsdottir and Julia Brandt, they have such a pace in the attacking line. And this is the most threat, the most danger for us, because, we lost a lot of pace. We lost organization with Kim and Leah. It will be a big challenge for Noel and Laura. I think they will be left back and right back. And also for Lotta and Rafa in the center against Pop. I think Alex Pop is playing again. And then there's Eva Pajor, this goal-striking machine from Poland. It will be a real challenge. But it's possible. Bayern Munich showed it 4 weeks ago when they won the league match 1-0 against Wolfsburg. You can control the Wolfsburg midfield. You can control their strikers. As I said, it's a matter of pace. Jonsdottir and Brandt also take care of the throw-ins from Jonsdottir. They are like crosses or like corners. Tough situation. I think the most difficult thing, or the biggest problem we have, is that we have lost our leaders. I don't see any leader in our team right now. With Kim and Leah out, these were the leaders of the team. The organizers in difficult situations, taking a slow down and taking out the pace of the match, or changing situations, changing tactics. You need leaders in a team. We have a fantastic team, fantastic players, still fantastic players in our lineup, but I don't see a leader. Maybe Katie can be the leader of the team. Otherwise, I don't see who can be the one who leads the team. Let's hope that Frida and Victoria can get control of the midfield, and that Stina uses her chances better than in last matches. I really hope that Caitlin can be back, but to be honest, I think she will start from the bench and maybe come in after 70 or 75 minutes. There's another problem. We don't have Gio. We don't have Jodie Taylor in Champions League squad. So there is really limited possibilities for Jonas. I think Kathleen Kuhl has to start. Katie will be back, and then let's see what the girls make out of it. Sometimes team spirit can produce miracles, and let's hope for this. Let's take a result from Wolfsburg that still keeps the tie open. I think if we get better there, like Bayern Munich was last week, 5-0 or something like that, you can sell as much tickets as you want for the Emirates, but people won't go there to watch a match when it's lost before it begins. So a draw would be wonderful, and if we lose with 1 goal difference, then everything is possible at the Emirates. Caitlin will be fit for the second leg, I'm sure. But my gut feeling says we won't get this result, and I see Wolfsburg winning 2-0, 3-0. But I know Amar will say, keep your optimism, man. Okay. To be optimistic, I say we will score 1, and there will be 2-1 for Wolfsburg, and this is a result with which we can really live and which keeps everything open. Let's hope the best, and come on, you girls, come on, you Gunners. Make us proud on Sunday.
I'm sure they will make us proud, Andreas. I'm sure they will. I said he would give us great information on Wolfsburg, and of course he has done there. Brilliant stuff from Andreas as always. Ben is in the chat here. He says, do you know when Mead will be back? Probably what we're looking at, September, I would say, potentially. Let's hope so. Terry says, Andreas must have a little soft spot for Wolfsburg with Jill Roord there. Well, I don't know. I don't think he does, actually. Despite Jill Roord being there, you don't blame him, actually. Herman says, Arsenal needs to change more often so players don't get tired. Well, we don't have much choice now, do we? We haven't got a big enough squad because everyone's injured. WSL.com says after 9 months being out, but 9 months or so. Yeah, she got injured in November, so I reckon August, September. WSL.com says, what do you think of Barca game? Do Chelsea have a chance? Well, they got a chance. Of course they have. It'd be very tough for them. I personally think Barca will go through. I think Barca are a better team overall than Chelsea, and I think they will go through. But certainly watching that game, it made me a little bit. I feel as though with our strongest team, I think we could beat Barca in the final if we got there. I really do, with our strongest team. I'm not too sure now with the injuries that we've got. Are we strong enough to give Barca a good go? I don't know. It's a one-off game, but I certainly got more hope from watching that game. It'll be a different game over there, of course, in the second leg for Chelsea. I'm sure they're going to find it a lot more difficult now. But they're still in with a chance. Of course they are. But I think Barca will go through. They looked a good side. Don't get me wrong. They did look a good side, and to beat Chelsea there is a great result, isn't it? But we'll see what happens in that second leg. But to be honest, if we're in the final, I don't care who we play. Now, Emar as well has given us his thoughts on Wolfsburg. Did Andreas give us a score prediction? I think he did he? Obviously, it'll be tough. But anyway, see what Emar thinks about Wolfsburg.
As for the Wolfsburg game, no doubt it's going to be very difficult, especially without Leah, without Kim. I mean, the good news for us is that Katie McCabe's back. Will she play on the left-hand side of front three on the midfield alongside Frieda and Leah? Either way, I hope he can sort it out. Jonas, he's got his tactics spot on pretty much of late, but it'll be interesting to see how he comes up against one of the best teams in Europe who have such an elite mentality and so difficult coming into it in prime form. They'll be strong favourites for that tie now, but hopefully we can take it to them like we did last season. It's going to be far from an easy game. Let's see what happens. I just hope we can take it to them and maybe come up with a result. It's going to be extremely difficult, as we know, but this squad is going to rally around Leah, and we wanting to finish the season strongly. So I mean, let's see. It's going to be, as I said, a very difficult game. Maybe even Taya Goldie could start in the midfield, but we'll see. You're going to have to play an exceptional game to get anything out of it. But my gut instinct, it'll be either 2 or 3-1 to Wolfsburg, but I hope I'm wrong and hope the girls do as proud as they always have been.
Yeah, I mean, a 2-1 defeat actually wouldn't be a disaster, would it? I think we'll all be quite happy with that. Ben says there, where's Caitlin Ford? Caitlin Ford gone. She's injured. She got a hamstring injury against Manchester City, so she's probably not going to play tomorrow. She might be fit for the second leg. Terry says, yes, 2-1 Wolfsburg. Come on, Terry. That's very negative of you, isn't it? Where's all your optimism gone? I hope the men's team haven't sort of smacked it all out of you. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind a 2-1 defeat. I wouldn't say happy with a 2-1 defeat. You're never happy with a defeat, are you? But I wouldn't be too worried with a 2-1 defeat because I think we've got enough about us out there, packed Emirates, to be able to turn that around. Obviously, a draw would be a fantastic result. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to go for a draw. I think that Wolfsburg are going to have to be very cagey in the way that they play. And I think that might suit us being away in that first leg. We're unlucky to lose in Bayern. And I think we can perform to a similar level against Wolfsburg. Yes, we had a stronger team then. Terry says, no, 2-1. Oh, Andreas, of course it was. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was 2-1. Yeah. You have to give your prediction then, Terry. Ben's gone 1-0 to Arsenal. Well, we do love a good 1-0 to Arsenal, don't we? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's hope so. WSL Comp says, would you like to meet Barca in the final? I think Pateas will be back. To be honest with you, as I said, if we get to the final, I really don't care who we play. Just to be in that final with the squad that we've had this season, the players that we've had missing, and everything else that's gone against us this season, for us just to be in a final would be amazing. So I don't care who we play. If we're there, I'll be over the moon. But yeah, I wouldn't mind playing Barca. Bring them on. Come on, bring them on. We own from last season anyway, don't we? Terry says, I'm going 2-2. Well, 2-2 would be amazing, wouldn't it? I'm going to go 1-1. I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals. I think we'll defend well. I think we'll have to defend well. And I think we'll have to use our set pieces well. I think we can nick a goal. They'll probably score. So, yeah, I'm going to go 1-1 and we'll take a 1-1 all day long, won't we? I would even take a narrow defeat if I'm totally honest, because I think we've got enough about us at home to turn it around. But yeah, draw would be great, wouldn't it? And then it's all to play for next Monday at the Emirates when we're all there. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It is going to be, what it is going to be is a fantastic occasion. The two games, it's brilliant, isn't it, for Arsenal to be in a position that we're in, semi-final of the Champions League. It's incredible. We've won the Continental Cup, and we're still third in the league. What a season it's been, and could even be better, couldn't it, if we're in that final, the Champions League final? Wow, incredible stuff. Ben says Arsenal should sign him. Yeah, I agree with you. We should, but we won't. If we get Russo, that'll be a good signing in the summer, won't it? But we'll see. I think we do need to buy one or two more Lionesses get more Lionesses in our team. Man United, Man City have got a lot, haven't they? Chelsea have got a few. We need to get a few more. We've only got Leah, basically, and we're not even going to have Leah for another 8 or 9 months, are we? So it's just basically Lotto. She doesn't even play for England. So, yeah, I'd like to see her sign a few more of the English players, the England Lionesses. It'd be great, wouldn't it? Terry's gone 5-3 to us over 2 legs. Well, that'd be 2 great legs, wouldn't it? And I certainly would love a nice 3-2 in the second leg. That would be fantastic. But let's see. I'm confident we can make it through. I really am. Not as confident as I was 2 weeks ago when we still had Kim and we still had Leah. But I'm still confident that we can just about do it. I think we've got a real reason now to do it, haven't we? Even more so now with Leah's injury, to do it for the injured girls. And I just think we've got that extra little bit of motivation and to get revenge for last season as well, because I think none of us didn't like the way Wolfsburg beat us last season. So I think we'll be bang up for this game. And yeah, tomorrow is going to be massive. So I'll be here, of course, with the watch along as always. 2:15 in the afternoon UK time. It's 2:30 kickoff. So we'll bring you the build up, obviously the team lineup, and all that kind of stuff, and then of course the watch along formats commentary. So join me for that. That is going to be amazing. And then obviously we'll try and get the Arsenal review show back on Monday, looking back at that Southampton game, disastrous Southampton game last night. So we'll look at that. And of course, a big week for Arsenal men as well, isn't it? Wednesday night, Manchester City away. That's a big game. We'll be covering that as well. And of course, next Monday, week on Monday, of course, the second leg of the semi-final will be at the Emirates. We'll try and get a proper women's show done next week. I know Andreas is flying out. I think he's not flying over till Saturday, actually. So I think we may be able to do the show Friday, which would be good. So we'll be able to look back on the first leg and look ahead to the second leg Emerson says their positions are covering the summer will be centre half, centre mid, and striker. Yeah, and my prediction 3-1 Wolfsburg. No, not 3-1 Wolfsburg. No, we don't want 3-1. We'll take a 2-1 or a 1-0 or a draw or an Arsenal win, but no, not a 3-1. That's a little bit too much to pull back, I fear. But no, you're right. We definitely need a centre half, a centre midfield, and a striker. You'll have the three through the spine of the team. We've got a good goalkeeping backup now in Sabrina. We're obviously short of a centre half with Leah going to be out, so we'll definitely buy a centre half. We need midfield cover, as we know. And yeah, we need another striker. That's it. Russo is top of our list, I'm sure. So I agree with you on that, but not with your score prediction. WSL comment says there 5-3 is a lot of goals for a Champions League semi-final. It is, yeah. I think it'll be close. It will be close. Yeah, I think maybe a draw. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 2 draws actually, but I'll go for a draw away, and then we'll look at the second leg next week and we'll decide what we think about that. Ben says Emerson's too negative. Yeah, it's a negative prediction 3-1. It is a little bit negative, but possible, of course. So he says ECU was doing well until the score. Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, it is going to be tough, and we have got a depleted squad. We don't have a lot of options from the bench either, which doesn't help, does it? So it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. We've got to rise to the occasion. We're going to have to play well tomorrow to get a result that makes it doable at the Emirates. And I'm confident we will. I'm confident we'll do the best that we can. And yeah, let's see what happens. But yeah, let's go out there tomorrow and enjoy it. Let's enjoy the game. Give everything that we've got, as I'm sure we will. And who knows, if we come back with a positive result, the Emirates is going to be absolutely rocking next week, and I'm so looking forward to that. And as Andrea said, even if we lose 3 or 4-0 tomorrow and it's over as a tie, we'll still go there to the Emirates and have a good time, cheer on the girls, enjoy the occasion. The first semi-final to be played at the Emirates since 2009, isn't it, when the men lost to Manchester United? So it's been a long time to host a semi-final at the Emirates in the Champions League, and it may well be a long time till we get to see another one, certainly on the men's side of things. But anyway, we shall see. But we are in the Champions League almost for the men, aren't we? So that's one positive to come out of the season. So yeah, it's been not a great week for the Arsenal women, let's be honest. Defeat to Manchester United, the latest ACL injury to Leah Williamson, and we've got to go to Wolfsburg tomorrow and try to rally round and get a result. So let's hope we can end this difficult week on a high, on a positive at least, even if we lose the game by 1 goal. As we saw in Bayern, it's not over. So yeah, we need to have something positive tomorrow, don't we? Because it's not been a great week for the men either. So we've suffered a bit this week, haven't we, as Arsenal fans? We've had a good few months. We've enjoyed it. We've had some good results, both men and women. And unfortunately, this week's been a little bit of a comeback down to earth, hasn't it? Not been great, but. Let's end it on a high tomorrow, shall we? That's what we want to do. So thank you very much to everyone that's been in the chat tonight. A little bit of an unexpected show, not how we would normally do it. Of course, we'd normally have the guys in, wouldn't we? Unfortunately, I say we've had to move it to Saturday. So thanks, Guy, for doing that, for putting us on a Friday. Nice one, yeah, well done. We appreciate that. So we had to throw this together. I'll throw it together at the last minute. But thanks to Andreas, to Matt, and to Amar for their contributions. On via video link, and of course to all you guys as well in the chat, some great comments as well. Emerson says there, Andreas obviously did not know that Pop was injured in that match a couple of weeks ago, and you are all not giving any credit to our ex-players, Janssen and Rod. Well, no, we're giving. We don't want to big up our opposition too much, do we? Jill Ward scored the important goal in last season's game, didn't she? We know Dom Janssen's a great player, but we don't want to focus too much on how good they are. We want to focus on our strengths and what we can do, and how we're going to rally round, and how we're going to push ourselves, and do almost the impossible to get to a Champions League final with this depleted squad. We're not forgetting about our ex-players. We know how great they are, but we're hoping that they both have poor games tomorrow and that we deal with them. We didn't deal with them last year particularly well, especially Jill. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It is going to be interesting. There is a lot of Arsenal connections, of course, between Wolfsburg as well, isn't there? We know that with the ex-players and whatnot. But I'm still confident we're going to get through. Ben says, bye. Cheers, matey. See you hopefully tomorrow in the watch along if you're about. But yeah, it's Andreas didn't know that Pop's out, so that's interesting development that you've given us there. I know he said she was injured, but we all just assumed that she would be fine to play in this game because she missed the game last week, didn't she? But we thought she'd be fine. Emma says there, see you on the first. Good show as always. Cheers, mate. Yeah, I look forward to meeting up at the Emirates. Yeah, we'll try and get in the toilet, and if it's not, it'll probably be busy, won't it? But we'll try and get in the toilet, and be good to see you there. Terry says, good show, Richard. Great comments in the chat. See you tomorrow. Come on, you Gooner girls, and hit those likes before you go. Yeah, give us a like before you go. Please join us again tomorrow at 2:15 UK time, and let's. I'm getting really nervous about an Arsenal game, like really, really nervous for the first time in a long while. Champions League semi-finals. There's not too many of them that you experienced here. So it is gonna be exciting. It's gonna be great. We're looking forward to it, but it is gonna be tough. And let's pray that the girls can really, really go for it tomorrow. Make us proud. We're proud of them anyway, but make us even more proud tomorrow with a really strong performance. And let's hope that we can, get some sort of a good result to take back to the Emirates, because that will be rocking, won't it? It'll be fantastic if we're in with a big chance of winning that game. That is going to be rocking, isn't it? That night, already over 40,000 tickets sold. It's bad to get. If I think after tomorrow, if it's a good result for Arsenal tomorrow, that's going to sell out. That it's just going to be incredible, isn't it? So, if you haven't got a ticket yet, I suggest you get one quick, because if there's a good result tomorrow, you might struggle to get one because it's going to sell out. So, get yourself there. It's going to be great. And come along and say hello to me and to Andreas and Amar and Matt and Harry, all of us there. Emerson's there, of course, as well. So that's going to be good. So everybody's coming to the game. We'll all have to meet up. I know Rajandra's coming as well. He's always in the chat and in the show, so he'll be there on Monday. So we'll all have to meet up somewhere, maybe outside one of the statues or outside the armory or something. We'll all have to have a big over and over and over again meet up. Either before or after the game. Before the game could be good. It's a 5:45 kickoff, isn't it? So plenty of time during the day. It's a bank holiday. We're staying down in St Albans, so we can probably get there for about 4 o'clock time, something like that. So I've got plenty of time to have a little meet up beforehand. Be good to meet you all. So anyone that's watched the show, especially the women's stuff that we do, if you are going to the Emirates next Monday, give us a shout out and we can meet maybe outside the armory about 4 o'clock on Bank Holiday Monday, which would be good, wouldn't it? So it's all great stuff, isn't it? So anyway, we're looking forward to tomorrow. Let's again pass on our best wishes to Leah for a speedy-ish recovery. It's not going to be speedy, is it? We know that, but let's hope she's back playing very, very soon. I'll be back tomorrow with the big watching on 2:15. Wow. I can't even think about the game without getting them little tingles inside, that you get when you're excited and you're nervous, that kind of thing. That's what I feel every time I think about the game tomorrow. It is going to be good. Terry says, Stina 242, a lot of Wuba Moy, as she always scores against Wolfsburg. Well, she scored against Wolfsburg last year, didn't she? So let's hope she can pop up with another one. So that's the 5 goals over the 2 legs, is it? Well, I don't know. I don't know if Fordy's going to be fit. Herman says Kim is all Arsenal. She watched the game from the bench, urging the players on, and she signed the new contract. She did, yeah, of course. Kim Little did sign the new contract. Yeah, good news this week. Actually, the only bit of good news that we've had this week, wasn't it? Kim Little's new contract. We just heard she's out for the season. Leah's out for the season. We lost to Man United. The men keep throwing away games. But Kim signed a new contract. So one little light at the end of the tunnel. And tomorrow could see another light at the end of the tunnel, couldn't it? If we get a good result away in Germany, which is going to be incredible, isn't it? So anyone flying out tomorrow to the game, have a safe trip and enjoy it. I'm sure you will. Cheer the girls on and give them extra cheers for all of us as well. And then we'll see everyone down at the Emirates next week for what is going to be, hopefully, an incredible at the Emirates. Brilliant stuff. So thanks for tuning in tonight. So thanks for all your comments. Fantastic stuff. Good to see you all. I say thanks to the guys for their videos as well. Shame they couldn't all be here live, but don't blame me. Blame Sky, because they keep messing about with the fixtures. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Really appreciate it. Please give us a like as well before you go. That always helps the channel. And if you are new, maybe not too sure about what we do, and you're not sure if you want to subscribe yet, then that's fine. Check out, have a look at the channel. Check out some of the other stuff that we do. We cover the men, we cover the women. We've got stuff on the club's history. We do other bits and bobs as well. We watch-alongs, loads of stuff. Previews, after match reaction shows, loads of different stuff. So I'm sure you'll find some stuff on there that you do like. And if you think it's worth subscribing, please do so. That does help the channel. Let's say, give us a like. That's the most important thing. If you're here, just give us, even if you haven't liked it, even if you thought it was crap, still give it a like. It's not going to hurt, is it? It's free. So you might as well. But if you didn't like it, then I don't know what to say, really. We do our best. Terry says, what time are you going live tomorrow, Richard? I'll be live at 2:15 because it's 2:30 kickoff, isn't it? So I'll be live at 2:15. Have a bit of lunch and whatnot. And then we'll bash on and get cracking because it is going to be very, very exciting, isn't it? So, yeah, definitely join us for that because it is so excited for it. It's going to be great. So, yeah, thank you to everyone today. So thanks to the guys for the videos. Thanks to you for your comments. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening, your Saturday evening, whatever you're doing. Match of the day will probably be on it. So it's match of the day tonight. There's no was there any Premier League games? I've been busy today. Sorry, I've been out filming and videoing. I was at a local grassroots game today, and I've done a video which I was editing earlier. That should be up on my other channel tonight. I did another grassroots journeys as well, football journeys as well today. I filmed that, so that's going to be out on the channel as well. Tomorrow I'll probably do that in between the games. So, but yeah, so I didn't actually see, was there any Premier League games on today? Is there match of the day on? But if there is, probably watch that. Have a bit of a chilled evening and then get ready for the big game tomorrow. We need to sleep well. The girls need to sleep well, and we need to be up for this game tomorrow, don't we? We will be. So join us, please, for that tomorrow afternoon, 2:15. Thank you very much to everyone for watching, and I'd say enjoy your Saturday evening. Take it easy, guys. Come on, you Gunners. Come on, you Gunners. Let's do this. Champions League semi-final. So exciting. See you tomorrow, guys. So Arsenal now Freedom Marnham again inside here looking for a second goal. Oh, she's got a second goal. That seals it. Freedom Marnham again.